No soup for you.
More? Can we have more audio?
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you.
Wait, no, 5 megahertz.
Brought to you by
Like a power level drop.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, I got to be monitoring. I guess I got to be monitoring the right levels here to know what I'm actually doing. That's better, and some audio. Just because you set things up beforehand doesn't mean that they might actually work. All right, first let me make sure that it appears to be working. Over.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so without any further ado, and let me make a couple of adjustments. In fact, I could make one right now with the audio. Hold on a second. So much for the early adjustments. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. We are here once again on a Saturday evening in the Central Valley of California to do what we do best, and that's distribute information and talk about those Class D 11-meter citizen band radios with our tube radio operators and our listeners as well. Before we get too far into things, let me say my name is Dennis, and we'll get, because it's another warm day and people have got things going on, so let's get the early check-ins out of the way. OTR listening.
24 checking in.
All right, 24, I hear you, no problem.
Getting early for Cliff.
Okay, I heard you guys chatting on the 2-meter item, so I'll make sure that Cliff gets in there. And I've got a couple from the Universal Media NetWeb, which I will get in as well as we go along the net here. Nice day. The bands have been open. At least today it was. The whole week hasn't been that great, but I've been hearing people say they had good conditions, and I was hearing Hawaii earlier when I came in late, and Dennis was telling me about some great conditions that he was having. So we'll find out what everybody was doing in that mode. Speaking of good conditions, do we have conditions for 00?
Yes, you do. Please check me in as 00, also number 20, and while we're at it, 29 and 54.
All right, that adds up to like 10,017 or something like that, I think. Good deal. Sounding good, good, Harvey. We'll get you checked in. We'll find out what's going on around the ranch. Now my mouse isn't working. Around the ranch a little bit later. There we go. That's looking good.
Sounds good. Catch y'all later.
I think that's working. We'll see what we've got in Skip. Just want to let people know we are on Channel 11. That's 27085. Here in the Central Valley of California. We also got the Echolink link up. I believe the crossband is still kind of working there as well. So we'll see what we get. Going to get some check-ins down the board here. We've got SWL number 1. I was seeing if we've got number 2 at the board. Make sure my key. I was at the California Historical Radio Society today. I'll talk about that more a little later. They had a plethora of very nice straight keys and all sorts of different items, so I wish I would have picked one up.
Break OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, 61 checking in, and I heard 44 trying to check in, and I'd like if you check in 82.
Okay, yeah, 82 is doing his thing where it's nice and cool. 60 when you sound good as always, and I'll get 44 at the appropriate time. I might even try him again, see if we can hear him around the corner. He's been sounding good on the Friday night sideband, so we'll see. Anyway, we do have you checked in. Over.
Thank you, sir. You have a good evening.
Yeah, and nobody tells me, Cornbread, nobody tells me the secret password, so if you've got it, pass it along. I've got a check-in for SWL number 3. Over to, and I did not, I was in the Alameda. It's like a 3-hour drive up and back, so I just got back, didn't have a chance to check over with the gang over at Old Radio Night, but we will check in with them shortly, looking for SWL 5. Now, a lot of people might still be over at Old Radio Night, but whenever you jump in, just let us know you're there, but we will get you checked in. SWL 7.
More proxy.
Yeah, I'm going to proxy 7. I should make it. Got up at 3:30 this morning to get the drive out to the Bay Area. But great place. A lot of old radios, a lot of history. They did a live radio show, and I actually came back with a couple of auction items that I'll show off a little bit later, at least the photos anyway. Let's head out to Sangertown for 982 Dirt Dog, SWL 9. Proxy for Dirt Dog, no problem. The bands are in good shape, so I'm really hoping that we might get some E-skip from wherever. Long path, short path, Alpha Zulu in Nineland says 6 meters is screaming, and let me see if I can find. I think I pulled up the DX map here earlier and got it. Oh wow, look at that. See, it's all on the East Coast, Midwest. Look at that. Look at the numbers. That's the MUF. So if you see a number at 55, 70, 80, that's all 6 meter openings. I see some triple digits in there. We've got some, looks maybe 6 meters coming up along the coast here. So the band is going to be pretty nice. I've got the other 10 meter section. That would be this. And yeah, the highlighted stuff. You guys in BC, the Squamish boys, we might be talking to you. We might be talking to Idaho. Could we talk to Texas? I don't know. So we'll listen in. We'll listen in and pick you up as we can. Back to the control room, the old Tube Radio Network 7. We've got Ed checked in. Thank you, Joe, for that. Got a proxy for 9. SWL 10 and or 30. I expect them to be checking in direct. Let's go to 11 and 12. And I know they are out there looking and feeling dapper. I'm assuming it's not 100 degrees where you are, because when the temperatures get to 100 degrees, it's hard to be anything but sweaty, I guess. 11 and 12, looking good. I hope you got the Heath kit. You got the Dapper Dan. You got the Heath kit polished up and looking good. So thanks, guys. We are looking for the Cross Bandits up, looking for SWL 13. Radio Geek 73, Topeka, Lawrence, and Kansas City. Our technical crew, our technical crew at Frodex is in Lawrence. I was there. Yes, I have been. I've been to Lawrence, so I'm glad you guys are represented tonight. Had a great trip when I was there. Went to Kansas City and did some things. So good hop. I wish you guys would get a really decent SDR, Kiwi SDR out there. I'm trying to talk Frodex into putting one up at the QTH over there, and then you guys probably be able to check in live and direct. We've done that before. Let's go to SWL 14.
Good evening, Dennis. SWL 14 checking in.
14 checking in. We got you, and we got some room for you on the radio list as well.
See you there later this evening.
The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark. We have been doing this on Saturday evening since the mid-1980s. I kid you not. We've been on for 40 years. Just a group of people, associated group of people interested in, I don't know, reliving, recreating the sound, the radios of the tube radios when we all started. Those of us who are old like I am started back in the day, and things kind of got out of hand. But if you listen in tonight and you've been around a while, you kind of remember. It's like, I remember what that is. Somebody asked if this is just CB. We have various links for ham radio waves to come in, Echo Link, and we've got a 2-meter crossband receiver. And so this is two-way radio. Just happens to be that the venue is here on Class the 11-meter citizen radio service with the tube radios, but we encourage anybody to get on the air however you can do it. Sometimes we jump in on the ham bands and listen in. If you're a ham, stop on by, or if you're going to be a ham, get your ticket so we can talk to you. Let's go over to, thank you, Sean. Let's go over to SWL 15. Did I miss Hans? Is it early? Is he on a trek somewhere? I'll check the... Oh, there he is, right here. Right, just like Motor Mouthball would say, right here, right now. I should have known. Let's put the X in the square, and you are looking good in the neighborhood. Got you checked in. Thanks. Who else? I'll go through the items. Foxman out there in Rockville, Tennessee. You probably had some good skip today. Who else is there? Who lived in Ventura? Amy. Well, I was down the road a piece. Let's see if SWL 16, courtesy of Anoka, Minnesota. Compite is here, checking in. Hope I had a good week. Yeah, I did. We got up and back. Thanks for taking care of stuff. Up and back from the radio day out in the bay, and looking good. And the place looks good. Lighting is good. Everything, it's like you don't need me. You don't need me to show up. Let's go to SWL 17. Queensland, hello, Rosie. Good Sunday, afternoon, mid-morning? Out to you out there. Thanks for joining us. Well, just before we started, the band was into Hawaii, and I was here in Michigan, and all sorts of stuff. It sort of dropped out, but we are not quite in our gray line yet, so don't go away. Maybe they'll hear us. SWL 18. I got Mr. KDA on a proxy check-in from Facebook. SWL 19, Chet. I picked you up some good stuff at the radio day. So maybe we'll get some new. They were giving away these paper things, so maybe we'll get some new paper, some good paper, some new paper for the cue cards. Chet is on the cue cards, doing a good job. So if I say something wrong, it's because I can't read, not because I can't talk. I'm just looking at some other meters here, making sure that it's kind of happening. All right, I think people are hearing me. They're saying, get on with it, and we can check in those tube radios. SWL 20 was in as 00, and he may still be by the microphonium. Hello, Harvey.
Yes, I am still here. Please check me in again, and the other guys I usually check in, also 29 and 54. And I'm going to go in the other room, rest for a little bit, and see if I can talk without cough. We'll try that tonight. Okay, catch after a while.
Yeah, this is the talk without cough frequency, so you've come to the right place, and hopefully that will work. Thanks for checking. And I want to say hello to Albert and the gang, 428 Squamish Boys. The charts are showing that we might have some good conditions open out your way, so be listening in, and don't be afraid to jump in there whenever I leave a space and say hello if you are hearing us. Who's LDX1CB? Hello to you. You're on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Sean. Sean Kirk 007 says we always need you. somebody has to wear this goofy suit. That's the deal. Let me bring up Old Radio Night. I think I've got them in the queue. I think they are still up and running. You know what? I'm going to refresh so we get a nice. We don't have the delay, and then I'll bring up the audio. Here comes the audio, and if they're ready to go, we're listening. We're listening to you guys up in Old Radio Night if you're out there. He's got the Buddy bass on again, and the Eagle 500 reverse preamp.
All right, stand by. Hang
All right,
on.
here we go.
Stand by. Don't say
bring you the
nothing.
video. Here's the
Stand by.
video coming up. Live video. Go ahead, guys.
Stand by.
All right, they're listening.
SWL 21 in the Kakalaki. We standing by. Go ahead, 007.
All right, 21, you're loud and clear. Out here on the Jersey Shore. 007. Working this high fidelity Dave May transceiver. Oh, yeah. I got the 4-element beam pointed right at you. 007 Extreme.
Perfect.
The guys are so
Hello,
loud, you're
Jim.
breaking my radio here. 007 Extreme CB. Sounded good, Frank. And they got a big crew tonight.
Hey, 429, check in. Say your handle and numbers. Check it in. You're in California there. Tell them I'm talking to California over the internet. Say who you are there, Break.
What happened to the audio? Can't really hear that
Yeah,
guy.
Raj, you're right. It was real good. 007 and Jed 21, Kakalaki. We great. We stand by.
All right, got you guys. If you're listening to me, 007 sounds like he's having fun out in the break, and the other stations live and direct. Checking in on the Buddy Bass tonight. We'll get it on the list. Thanks for joining us. Coast to Coast, Old Radio Night to the Old Tube Radio Network. Now, what's happening? They were coming in so strong that they were overloading the audio system here. I had to end up turning them way down, but I think we made it. Nice radio tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glow in the Dark, back to the SWL list. It's around here somewhere. 21 is in. How about SWL 22? SWL 23, Skidoo is, he's probably enjoying some great weather. It was 68 degrees. I should have dressed like this. I didn't at the radio day. It was pleasant. I hated to jump in the escape vehicle and come back to 100-degree weather. It was very nice. But it always is in July at the beach. 24 checked in. How about SWL 25 way out there somewhere?
Hello, Dennis. This 25 checking in way out here from nowhere. Anyway, staying cool, and you might as well check in 74 too. Thank you.
Will do. We get you sounding good, and 74 as well right here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Stay cool, and thanks for jumping in.
Roger.
Let's swap the page here to page 2 for SWL 27.
27 checking in live from Studio G, where I have 96.6 degrees and a little bit of breeze blowing out here.
I noticed the breeze when I came. It's kind of a warm breeze. It's sort of like a furnace blast, but if the sun goes down, it may turn into something exciting. Sounding good. I always have to look which meter is running when you key up to know if you're AM, FM, or otherwise. Sounding good. Thanks for braving the heat, and we got you checked in over.
Roger that. Yeah, it's like a blast furnace. You got that right. Thanks, Dennis.
No, really. I mean, we have a dry heat, and then when we get wind or breeze coming in through the valley, I mean, it might be cold when it came out of the Bay Area, but it heats up as it goes across the valley. It's like when you open your oven door. You know, you're baking cookies, you open that door, so pull out a pie, and a blast of heat comes in. Without the cookies, without the goodies. Thank you, Dwayne. I see Gary is in. Let me see what is going on in up there where it is maybe a little bit cooler. Checking in, clam chowder in sourdough bowls and garlic bread. It says, stop on by. All right, well, save me one of the garlic breads. Hollow it out. I'll just munch on that. But somebody can have my stuff that goes on. It sounds good. I had a broccoli soup or something was in there. When I was at Disneyland a couple of months ago, I tried one of those scooped out sourdough things. It was good. It was really good. You just eat the whole thing. You eat the dishes. Nobody has to clean up. It's good.
Dennis?
Thanks, Gary. And yes, Harvey, go ahead.
Yeah, check-in number 81, Scott in Magalia. He says he can't get his little internet chat thing to open up. So go ahead and just check him in.
All right, no problem. We will be here next week, or whenever it might be working. I know how that is when you think you have something working, and then at some point it's not quite working the way you want it to. So thanks, Harvey. We will get 81 at the appropriate time. We have a proxy in 28 is in. Thanks, Gary. 29's got a proxy. SWL 30. I see you, Dwayne. We are showing that we should be having conditions for you all up there tonight. So if you're around, or you can be in the radio room or around it, fire up the Robin for the Browning something. We were probably going to hear you. Or something like that. SWL 31. I did see Robert and Teresa up the page a little bit, so we'll check you guys in. Thanks for joining us as always. Hope you're having a good week. And then let's go over to Texas. I occasionally this week, Rob, I stopped by the SDRs. I didn't do anything today, and I didn't do much yesterday. Apparently today was good, but the whole week was bad. I checking the SDRs, I was not hearing much of anything except on 20, and that wasn't even all that great. So sounds like you need to be in the digital mode. Anyway, I will peruse. I'll be showing some of the pictures of the like tabletop, more than tabletop broadcast receivers that I picked up today at the radio auction. Very beautiful. They refurb them. They get donations, and then their crew actually goes through and refurbishes and fixes up the cabinets and stuff. That they're really, really in nice shape. So even if they don't work, they look good sitting there. So got you checked in, and good luck on progressing with all those things that are now waiting for you full time. SWL 33, of course, anybody here at the Old Tube Radio Network checking in. Myself, Bozo Control. Can't keep the microphone keyed. Who's next? SWL 34. That's Jimmy up there in, where's he at? Batavia. How could I forget? Trying to make sure I get everybody X'd in here. SWL 35. I did not check all the Facebook stuff, so I have a feeling that Mr. Bill might be checking in from, if it's cool, Cheyenne. He's found the spot. Because I look some of the temperatures up there. It's kind of roasty toasty up near Yellowstone and that area. But Mr. Bill, if you're listening in or you checked in, I will make sure I get you. SWL 36. Ken is probably lurking around somewhere. There he is, right there. All right, Mr. C, we'll put the X in the square. Thanks for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Whenever I run in like this, I always find stuff that I was supposed to do and forgot to do. So if things look a little weird, that's because I'm working on them. Let's go here local, SWL 37. Should we get a proxy in for Chris?
Proxy, Chris.
Proxy, Chris.
All right, that sounds like a thumbs up on that one. I'll do that, and he may come rushing in, saying hello radio. We can fix that. SWL 38, Sam, up in Byron. I was trying to think where I went to 580 and the 205, and I was on a lot of little freeways and highways I don't normally go on to. I can't believe they are building houses off of Interstate 5 on both sides. Past Crow's Landing, that's crazy. That used to be in the middle of nowhere. That's where you used to think, oh, I'm going to run out of gas and no one will see me ever. Now they got some beautiful homes up that way. SWL 39. Frank D's gotten some good pizza always. You know where to go for the pizza. So when we have the OTR Pizza Bash, we're going to have your friends cater it out there in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Thanks for joining us. Over to Sue. Should be by the radio. I'm not going to call you on the phone because it won't do any good. SWL 40. Maybe his phone is working. Maybe he's finally taking a phone call and he can't check in. Well, he sounded good. Larry, if you're listening and can't get to the microphone, I will get you checked in.
His wrist quit working.
Something quit. One Space Ghost. Hello, fine folks. They had at the Radio Museum one of those. It's called the Caravel. The Ravel was the Space Patrol radio that has the code key and the little antenna. They had the box. It was in beautiful shape. They had the radio. That's huge. I didn't realize how big that blue space age Remco. That's who made it. Remco radio was, and it was not for sale. It was up in their museum spot. Sam, I see you. Byron is still a small town. I was looking at the populations as I was driving through. Some of those, like Keys, is like 5,000 people. I said, where are they all? Where's the 100,000 populations? It's like Ripon. You build a giant water tower, and the people will flock to it. So we've got you checked in. Let's go over directed net roll call for SWL 41, Road Dog 507. Hey, it's Steve Areno. I always love it when the celebrities show up. From the Bob and Steve show. Purveyors of the big red limo, the big blue limo. Let me see. Let me see if we've got a picture of what they're doing this week. Here's the red limo. I'm gonna bring it up there. And I know they were doing some stuff. No, that's not it. I know they were doing some stuff for the 4th of July. It's supposed to be on this page, right? There it is. Steve actually put a pole on either end, the front and the back, and put a dipole, wired up. I think it was a lot. The vehicle is big enough. You can do 160 meters on that. You have multiple wavelengths for 11. So the big red limo has been out and about in the streets of the Central Valley, and still looking good. I washed it once. I helped out washing it one time, and that was it. That was enough for me. But Steve, good to see you. Hope all is going well, and we are having a good time here on in Fresno. Yeah, go Dogs. Well, that is Bulldog Red, if ever there was one. The Old Tube Radio Network, Net Control. We are looking for 4140 SWL 42.
Yeah, check in 42 and the Radio Lifer crew. They're all present and accounted for.
Okay, they are doing their thing. Here's some background modulation going on with that. So 42 is in the queue. We've got you checked in. Over.
Roger.
And cornbread, I think you're right, about 4 miles to the gallon. And that's if they don't have water in the hot tub inside. If they put water in the hot tub, you're going to go down another mile or two on per gallon. Let's go to SWL 43. Ray, SWL 44, I'm listening over. And anybody with a big antenna here, Ray on the AM? There's somebody right there. There was somebody right there, but I don't know if that's Ray or Skip or whatever, but I'm putting the X in the square. He always does a good job on the dish banks. I can always hear him on sideband. So 360, we've got you over. All right, yeah, there's somebody in there, so thanks. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly up in North Fork. The X is in the square. Let's go to SWL 46. Short listener 47. SWL 48, Sam. If you're out there, I'm getting you checked in. Facebook from somewhere, 48. And how about Smitty's Sweet Country Mom, SWL 49? Get our proxy in for them, those guys as well. Brett, greetings. The Bose greeting. That always prompts a honk of the proboscis. Northwest Oklahoma. Top of the signal, Lima Charlie, sounds good. And the old Tube Radio Network, 40 years, because we have the best. We have the best tube operators and the shortwave listeners, and they just don't give up. They think, you know what? I wonder if the OTR is going to be on tonight. And they turn it on, and there it is. So we're having some fun. Let's go to SWO 50. Up there in Battle Creek. What's going on? Cornflake, he's in the cornfield. Or the cornflake field and the air chair, and just got home from that 4-letter word, as we say in Whiskey Oscar Romeo Kilowatt. And so good. Relax. Go get a piece of cheese and whatever else, and a piece of celery. I don't know, whatever you do. I'm sure you do. I do better than that after work. And so we'll keep the smoke and flames elsewhere. Let me put the 50 in the right mode here, checking in. It should say checked in. There it is. Got to hit the right button. Let's go to SWO 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
51 near Sangertown, sounding good as always. Beaconing across whatever it is that from that part of town. I got trees in the way, and there's a big rock, and downtown is sort of out there on the airport. But you make it through fine, so we got you in. Height is might. Yeah, the higher you can go. Put out that hot air balloon and get your antenna up in the air. Let's go to SWL 52. Now, Aaron might be playing on 6 meters. Aaron might be doing some FT8 on 6 meters since the band's looking good. I will get Aaron checked in. Let's go to the legend, SWL 53.
Yeah, 53 checking in there, Dennis. And do we get a 49 proxy?
Yes, sir. We got a proxy in for Sweet Country Mom and Smitty, and we're getting you in live and direct over.
Thank you, sir. 73 is. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for, as they say on the Jiggle Singer says, thanks for stopping by. And let me get your official X right there. I'm running out of space on the table here. Pens don't work, and I'm running out of space. And the sun is going down. SWL 54, I've got a check-in for Larry up the hill to SWL 55.
55, checking in.
Sounding good. How was it up there today? Good stuff?
Nice and cool.
Nice and cool. That is the way to be. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Just for kicks. I know that's his line, but I'll steal it. 56.
Present and accounted for.
All right, that means I get to click the button and put the X, and we are good to go for yet another Saturday evening. Thanks, Phil. Continuing with the roll call, 56 is in SWL 57. SWL 58. I didn't get a chance to talk to Ron to see what Jeremy's up to. Did he make it over from old radio night? I know that radio is so cool. Yeah, everybody wants to hang out at ORN and catch up with that buddy base. SWL 59. Uncle Hairball is somewhere out there. And hello, Nick. Ontario CB Club is listening in. Maybe we'll have some skip up your way. I don't know. And someone asking if I'm going to get on 7290. We had a great showing, thanks to our reluctant net control guy up there around Portland, who kind of broke the hole in the atmosphere for 7290. We had a great AM crew. I don't know. I am really tired. I got up at 3:30 this morning to drive to San Francisco Bay Area, where I picked up not one but two, and I'll show some pictures here later on, some AM broadcast receivers. I specifically got them because they both had the 40-meter AM frequency. And one of them has a magic eye, and I thought, this would be cool. If I put the wire up, maybe, when the guys are on 7290, I can dial them in on a radio. One's from 1939 and one's from 1940, and make them sound the way they should sound. So we will see. No promises tonight, because I'm going to be propping myself up to get through to 10 o'clock tonight. But that was good. We had a good time last night on Vintage AM, as we are having tonight on Vintage AM. Let's go to SWL 60.
Thank you, Dennis. I was losing you a little bit. I don't know if it's on my end.
No, it's on my
end. Is that static coming in? Maybe on your end? We'll never know there, I guess. Anyway, Dennis, evening time to everyone. SWL 60 checking in, Big Jake's base.
Yeah, it was me. I have made an adjustment, as we say, and you should hear me fine now, as hopefully everybody else does too. That's why you see me looking back and forth. I've got another thing I have to monitor over here, and if it does bad stuff, then I have to fix things. And good. We're still listening. See if we get some skip in there. But you're doing good, sir. So 6-0 is in, and as always, the 2901 base beaconing through greatly. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you a whole lot there. We just it happened. We were losing you just when you were coming to me to call me, and I said, maybe it's me. Okay, Dennis, we'll let the channel rock and roll.
37, Dennis, 37.
All right, thank you, Joe. And I think that was 37 in there. Over.
Yes, it was.
All right, you had plenty of audio going on, but 37 just did that. Is it above my? Does it say 37 up there? Yes, it does. We've got you checked in. Over.
All right, thank you, Dennis. Good evening, Joe.
Evening time to you, Chris.
You got to take out much of the movie.
All right, yeah, it will probably be one of those CB movies, huh? I had you proxied in, now you got the big X.
All right, thank you.
We are on page 3, are we not? Yeah, 60's in. 61 came in on the early check-in. The Squirrel Chronicles, SWL 62. Did you already pass? Did you already jump through my screen? Where did you go?
I'm not 62, I'm sorry.
No, and that's a good thing. You're much younger than that. I was just checking for 62 Squirrel Chronicles. I think they're in Ohio. Maybe we just haven't reached out to that there, but we will see that. I'll put a question mark there, but I will not put a question mark for 47. Over.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And greetings to all from the Radio Lounge. Even after all these years, you still can put a smile. You just said something about me not being 62 years of age. I almost wish I was to be able to spend every single day at home permanently. That'd be nice.
I'm working on it. It hasn't happened yet, so we will see. Anyway, sir, you are sounding good. We are in the roll call, so it's easy just to jump up the box here and get your X in the square. Over.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And I did take a nap earlier, so hopefully if the crowds that are out in the swimming pool right now don't come in and commandeer the radio lounge, hopefully we'll have something to check in. And on that, 73.
Indy, I thought of you today. I saw a couple of bike riders, and some of them were just, one guy had to be going well over 100 miles when he passed me on 580. But I went to Alameda to a radio day thing. We won't talk about it now, but I thought about your excursions that you do, and that was mine. It was like 6 hours in the car, but I'm sure if I was on the 100-mile-an-hour bike, I would have been here there and back much sooner. A little mussed up here anyway. So back to the pool you go. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
The Old Tube Radio Network and Richie. You guys are what, 2 hours, 3 hours ahead? So I don't know. Get everything fired up. Anybody after the net, if the band is open, see if you can, especially here on the West Coast, don't forget to go up to, well, you do all the time, 38 lower. There's a lot of guys here. Although they might all be in bed. See if we get a contact on the West Coast to Foxman. Let's see. Looking for the Squirrel Chronicle 62. How about SWL 63? SWL 64. Craig wanted to check in early, so I will do that. SWL 65.
Just for the record, I am in the radio lounge right now. I haven't kicked out yet. I'm not doing the swimming pool. The youngsters that are in the swimming pool, once they get done, I think they're going to be coming in here, and I hope that's not when I get kicked out of here. But there it is. I would not have listened to the show for anything.
KB6 GFD. And wait a minute, is that Tim Tron? Is that the ever-popular G&J? I had no way to get a hold of you, and I think you were working with Rich this morning. Yeah, I got the bug. I drove up, got in the car at 4 or 5 in the morning, drove up, did the auction, watched the radio play. My first time through the museum, saw the ham shack that they had and some other stuff. So if you were there, I left at about 1. I left after the radio show because I needed to get back here. And I don't know what was going on in Alameda. There was gridlock on just about every corner. I thought I wasn't going to get out of there. But I did come back. I did come back with some items from the auction. I'm going to show them a little bit later. I couldn't help myself. I held up that little card just one time too many. And I remember, it was 2-3 years ago, I think I was driving to the airport it was for the Alaska cruise. And you said, hey, it's the radio thing. And I was like, no, I can't go. I got to go to the airport. So this year, finally, it's like, no, I'll just go up there. That's my fault. I should have probably pre-talked to you and said, aren't you doing that thing? Are you going to be there? And I could have caught you, but a lot of nice people. I had fun. I had a good time, and the weather was nice. And like I said, I came back with a couple of items of interest that I don't need, but we'll see if they work. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Got a couple extra. I think they're both 6-tubers. A 6-tube RCA and a 6-tube Pilot. I never heard of a Pilot, but it's super cool. Got a lot of the shortwave bands on it. Let's go to SWL 66. SWL 67. Bill, I saw you in earlier. I saw you in from Canby, Oregon. So I have put the X in the square. And I see a familiar face. Where did it go? 23 is a good deal. Is 23 still up? Yeah, I can still get to the 23. Are you shrouded in fog? When we're having 100 degrees, you guys are always kind of in that June and July gloom. So hope you are doing okay. Mr. Skidoo, what's happening? His psychiatrist told him that he has multiple personality disorder. So now I don't know if I should check myself in or proxy myself in. And then you don't even know which number you might be. Maybe you're somebody else. Well, the X is there. So you know what I'll do? I'll put an X and a P. Because when I proxy somebody in, I put in a P. That's the letter P. I put in a P, and then I put in an X. So you've got an X and a P. So tell your psychiatrist about that one. And operator Golden Gate, I was in your neighborhood today. Good afternoon from San Francisco. The QRZ's operator Golden Gate West Coast net controller for Hogtown Radio Roundup. What frequency is that? The 20 meter, 40 meter? I was at the radio day in Alameda today. I walked into, and I can't remember the call, like W6C something, CRRA. They got a nice vintage. They had a really nice Helicrafters set and some keys up there. So I'm getting good stuff today. Thanks for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network out of Central California. Roll call's up right now, and the radios hopefully will be parading through in a couple of minutes here. Did you ever get to ring the bell on the trolley car? The cable car? Is that a thing? They let you do that? 67 is in. Oh, before you scroll off, and I was glad to see you in there. Where did you go? I could have sworn I saw. See, I see these things, and then the type is so small it just goes away. I thought I saw 71. Yes, Stan, 71 is in. Let me get you right now before I lose power and it blows up. And X in the square. Yeah, things changed. Our server broke. I think you could still get in from the regular page. We tried to make it so you could actually jump in and leave comments maybe without having to, get up here on the chat window or listen to the audio that way. It took a little bit. Frodex figured it all out with his little AI chat buddies. But we are back. So good to have you. Good to have you up and running. 71, he's one busy guy. So when he is able to jump into the Old Tube Radio Network, I gotta pull out all the stops and make sure he gets the check in. So I jumped ahead. SWL 67, we got 68, we got SWL 69. Kenny also checked in early from Tulsa when we opened things up. So Kenny, if you're watching or listening, thanks to you. Let's go up the hill to Mark, SWL 70.
Hello, Dennis, and everyone on the net. Happy Saturday night. All is good here. Hey, I thought I heard a little bit of skip about 3 transmissions ago before you called somebody there. Unless I was hearing it on something else, but it sounded like something might be coming in. Anyhow, hope you are doing well. And that's it, man. Thanks for the check-in, and thanks for doing the net.
All right, thanks for stopping by. I'm doing a bad thing. I'm kind of quick, King. I was trying to get through the roll call here, and I kind of promised I would leave a little space because the band is, according to the charts, is and should be open. It's on the Midwest and East Coast. 6 meters is open. Everybody's saying they got good condition. So at some point, somebody's going to holler into the Old Tube Radio Network. Did I see Mr. Nobody is out there waving? Dwayne is waiting. 205, all these stations, just waiting to get a call in. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we got you in, and that's what counts. SWL 59. I knew you would make it over. See, when JT puts up the Buddy bass, everybody just stays there and it's like, oh, look at that radio. They forget to jump over here and check in. So thanks. X in the square. Or whatever geometrical size it is on the box here. 70's in, SWL 71, Stan, Dallas, Georgia. How about SWL 72? All right, and Peter's going to go up the hill, 428. So you stations here locally with the big ears and the good radios, we should be able to get some DX check-ins. So don't be afraid to jump in and say, hey, I hear you. Say something. SWL 73. SWL 74, we got a check-in for Miss Jilly. Out to Johnson, Rhode Island, SWL 76. Yeah, 428's got like one of those in the mini grass. They're always out in the mobile somewhere, like one tire parked in the ocean. So if you can do that, do it. It seems to work for them. SWL 77.
Yes, sir. 77, old train wreck here, checking in. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. And thanks for everything you do, Dennis. Sounding good this way.
When I don't break it, I'll take the accolades. And like I said, if it wasn't for people showing up and saying hello radio and wanting to find out and have a good time on the radio on a Saturday evening, I guess we wouldn't have been doing this for 40 years. So congratulations, everybody. Your X is in the square.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go to SWL 78. Wild Wildemar. I heard Richard checking in with Brian on, I think it was Friday. He had a good signal. One of the few good signals on 40 meters in the morning. So Wild Wildemar is in. Mr. Nobody. Are you hearing anybody? Is band open anywhere? Like you hear the guys in San Diego or Phoenix or something? Just can't get to Central Valley. Let's go to SWL 79. Mr. DC. Well, it's actually cooler today. I don't think it made 100 degrees, did it? I don't know, because I was where it was 70 degrees. Having a good time. Spending money I don't have. Let's go to, I'll get you checked in. If you're listening, Philip, I'll get you checked in. SWL 80. Yeah, well, let me bring up, okay, let me bring up the DX map. Where did it go? Oh, they're setting off fireworks. That should be right there. There it is. That's your 10 meter. Look at that. The whole Midwest, East Coast doing their thing. But see, that's why I think Albert and the gang, Peter, might be okay. It's open right where there. But look, it's looping around. It's missing us completely. That little star is us here, and there's nothing. There's nothing going on. And then I've got the other one. This is the one that just kills me right here. Look at this. Look at that. That is big time openings for the East Coast. Look at that, 6 meters, and you go to the West Coast, the left coast, and it's not happening. So maybe it needs to be a little more in the evening. We will see what happens, but don't go away. Stay tuned. We just might have some good stuff coming up. In the meantime, they say continue with the roll call so we can check in with the radios. SWL 81. Harvey said to get Scott in up there in Paradise. So we've got you in. And good luck. I know how it is getting wires and things set up to trying to make it work. Hey, there it is. 81's right there. I see, and you're right above the top. Well, I didn't make it to up to your area. I would have been another 2 hours, and I made a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and I wound up at the coast, but had a good time. And I don't know. Like I said, you're in that ducting zone. You guys up there, see if something will happen. SWL 82. Here's another guy that's enjoying some cool weather like I did today. So, Ron, we've got you checked in. Ron is the purveyor of the Ditchbanks sideband net on Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on 36 lower. So mark a calendar for that. SWL 83. I saw Jay-Z somewhere. I think he was in my... earlier check-in. All right, just checking some numbers here. I hear those fans are blowing. Then we'll get to Cheerios Kid, Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and Snowy Owl checked in 84, 86, 87, and 88 respectively. And we'll jump up to SWL 91, Mr. Felix. way out there in that eastern time zone. 91, we got you checked in. Doing it safely, yeah. You had to pull over to check in. I guess if you're doing it on the Universal Media Netweb device, we here. Let me do a little public service announcement. We here at the Old Tube Radio Network highly recommend, if you are to be checking in a 4-wheel, 2-wheel, or other wheeled mobile device, that you safely pull to the side of the road before you hit the button or whatever it is that you have to hit to check in. Brought to you by the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's go to SWL 92. I did not have any radios in the car today. 3 hours. I'm thinking, what was wrong with me? I didn't have any 2-meter stuff. I didn't have any HF stuff. I'm going to get on the ball, because that's what makes the driving good, just listening in to a bunch of static. Let's go to SWL 93. I'm hearing something coming there. 93. I'll get a proxy check in. And speaking of celebrities, we're going back over to page 1. Mr. OBP. Hello, radio. And I hope you are staying cool. I always, when I drive by in the Buick, well, not in the Buick, but when I drive by, I always wave a hand, as they say in the Citizen Band Radio. Yeah, that's the unicycles up there with your little Temu HT and trying to balance, not fall off. Let's go to SWL 95. SWL 96. Oh, there's Wildemar. I did get you checked in. I heard you checking in with Brian on Friday, I think. You were really strong. The band was awful, and it's like, wow. I don't know how much, if you're running the amp or not, but you were a strong signal there. So what's happening at 40? Yeah, we were on last night. We had a big group on 7290 last night on AM, and it was from San Diego, the coast, here. Who else was on? San Jose, Oregon, Washington. It was really good. We had great conditions. That was up through 10 o'clock. Always makes things fun. All right. Thank you, Richard, for checking in. And we do have some Echolink stuff coming up. I gotta get it back on track here. 96. Did I call SWL 96? If not, I just did. I know I didn't call 97. I'm doing that now, and Jim is in there. Hello, 97. Through Chatland, I like that. Every night is radio night. That's true. But enjoyed some of the fights on TV. Nice. And another Saturday afternoon in Paradise. There was actually some people that are in Paradise, up the road a piece. 97 is checked in. Thanks for joining us. And continue on with having a good weekend. Let's go to SWL 98. I'll get Tracy checked in. I came in so late, I have not seen if there is a video and a check-in, so I will look for that. If I find it, I will probably do a double whammy next week if I don't grab it sometime this week. But the one for Ron. See, you take advantage of Ron when he's not in town to to come over there and knock on your door. That was funny. So you're always a lot nicer to me. The guy that wears the suit gets a little respect on the AI. Let's go to SWL 99. I never ran tonight. Okay, we will try the Echolink link, so that's my cue, and I'll head over to the other studio here. And see if we might possibly get an Echolink link coming up. KD4BAO from KB6GFD take a transmission. See, we can't get Tony up on the Echolink link.
Hey, good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Good to hear you. Sound great. Back to net control, KD4 BAO.
All right, sorry about that, Tony. My computer screen was just going wacky. They did that before, and when it happens, I can't actually get the Echolink to work. So it's working now. We got you checked in. Thanks for the TOTA, and we will be being tubes on the air soon. Thanks. KB6GFD. And we will try one more Echolink. Let's see what Albert's doing up in Sparks. KI6CBA from KB6GFD. Take a transmission, sir. Al is up north of me.
KI6CBA. Call Dennis there. It's KB6GFD. Hey, good to hear you. Hotter than heck up here. Lots of activities. I haven't really followed that, but hey, I was kind of excited to hear that you went to the radio club there in Alameda. Do they have any CB equipment there?
That is a good question. In their historical museum, which I went around, they did not have any Class D radios. They had some radios that did 11 meters, but they were not Class D. They have a lot of old televisions. And in the auction, most of their items were tabletop or console or the wood broadcast AM, FM shortwave radios. So all tubes. They had a couple of solid state stuff, but mostly tubes. So no CB stuff over.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I visited there once a long time ago, and they had a ham shack up at the top I saw, but I never saw anybody transmit from it. But it's certainly an interesting place for anybody who's interested in radio, so I'm glad you got to go by there. Okay, well, I'm just going to check out and say a little much for the radios this evening, and it's all going to be good. Okay, 73.
All right, 73, and thanks for joining us on the Echolink link. Yeah, I went into the ham shack. I worked their little bug key trying to do my hand at that. I didn't do too well, and yeah, I actually got some pictures of their antennas on the roof. They had some nice boat anchor, nice Hallicrafters, and some other really nice receivers in there. And I had to look at their shelf to make sure it wasn't going to fall down. Thanks, Albert. 73 to you, KB6GFD. Your old tube radio network, Real Radio's Glow in the Dark. My name is Dennis, one of the many net controllers to sit in the air chair here this past 40 years. And having a good time as always. All right, the patient guy out there in Arkansas, SWL 102. I put the X in the square already. He's checking in, saying hello, radio. Driving home from work, but have safely pulled over at the Valero station so that I can hit the send button. I was, we have a place called Pilot. It's like Love's, I guess, where it's the truck stop and they got the big fueling station. It's big up there. I stopped there on the way up and the way back. It was kind of nice. So thanks for being safe. So thanks for being safe and doing what you do, 102. And I'm running the Vox Ducker too. I shouldn't be doing that. SWL 103. Since we're 102, 103 should be there as well. Out in Tango Romeo 21 X-ray, South Carolina. Thanks, Joey, for sending the digital RF waves out to the L2 radio network. I could probably proxy this guy in SWL 109. Mr. Crawdad up in Albury. Well, it's a little cooler than we are. Nice, a great spot for radio activity across the valley. Let's go to SWL 110. SWL 111. I don't know. I'd have to find out what happened. Robert runs a 111. Robert runs a 75 meter net, or hosts net control for that occasionally, and he said it was all sorts of weird things going on. So I'll have to find out. He said I know how that is, Robert. You can, a little bit of wackiness can do you in on the net. So we did get your check in.
86 BLF for ID.
And thank you, 40, for the heads up. I think I get some high frequency spikes. So I'm going to have to put a little high frequency thing in there that won't kill my item. SWO 113.
I'm sorry, break OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead, over.
I don't remember if this is okay, but I'm losing control of the radio lounge. I'm being expelled from it. Is it possible? Can I check a Robin in, or just maybe when you get around to it on the list? A Robin T123, my favorite.
Yes, let's do it quickly now. Robin T123, because that is why we're here. That is why we call the Old Tube Radio Network. And I picked up, just briefly, I picked up a radio today at the auction in Alameda at the Radio Museum, and I specifically bought it because it has a magic eye, and it's used not for audio modulation. It's used for the signal incoming. So I hope it works. It should. And I don't think it covers this band. I don't think it goes up that high, but it's got the magic eye, and it's from either 1939 or 1940. So you are in good company.
Which radio is it?
It's a Pilot, and it has a number. It is not a CB radio. It's a receiver. It is a Pilot H384, manufactured in 1938.
Okay, I've been looking for a 1938 Zenith 12 something, and I think just the 12 means it's got 12 tubes in there. That's supposed to be the best sounding radio, but that'll be a conversation for some other time when I'm not interrupting roll call.
All right, if you're looking for 12, you might be looking for a Stratosphere, so you better have like 5 figures in the bank account. I did pick up a Zenith. I picked up a 6 because it's a tabletop. A 6, what did I get? A 6S439. That's from 1940. Pretty cute. Does the AM and a couple of shortwave stuff. All right, relinquish the lounge to the party goers, and we will make sure that the Robin T123B, which you are on, and we all heard, gets in the mix. Over.
Yep, thank you, I appreciate it. And 123, no B, no Bravo there. This one does have the match guide like you were talking about. 73.
All right, I got it written. I wrote T120B. My 3 turned into a B for some reason, so I've amended that. Thanks. No such radio. All right, Wayne, sorry to leave you hanging, but you are there. SWL 114. Probably thought I would never get to him. Shortwave listener 114. I'll get the X in the square. SWO 128. John got a check in from last week. He has, I think, relatives over doing something. But, John, if you watch the replay, there is your check-in right there. Uh, 128. SWL 131. I have definitely got to get a bigger table. SWL 135. I heard you guys on the crossband earlier, so we've got a check-in from Mr. Green Arrow. SWL 145. Tony checking in. I think he's still... See, we have smart people that leave the 100-degree weather here and then head out to the coast. So he's probably where I was today. Got an X in the square. SWL 147. Neil. Did you get you checked in? What's going on with the... I know you were there. I'll have to scroll back and see what's going on in Skipland. You guys always hear where you're at. Have good jump into the West Coast here. It's just you got to be in the right spot at the right time. And here was a station saying nothing but splatter boxes blasting massively distorted audio on 11 meters here in Chicago. That is sort of why we are here, because it wasn't always like that. I mean, we all remember that. And so I dare anybody to listen to our stations that check in with the good audio. And if it's not good, we say, here's what you can do to make it better. Just like it was intended. So start your own get on the air night with stations with good audio. Or audio that's not distorted. I mean, distorted audio could be good audio. You just don't know. Let's go to SWL 188.
Good evening, Tom Dennis. 188 checking in with the distorted audio.
No, it sounds good. You've got, in fact, you've got the DX audio toned down. I know you can do it right. If you need to sound bodacious, treetop, tall, wall to wall, whatever we say on 11 meters, or if you just need to be rag shoe audio, you can do that too, and it's sounding good.
10-4 evening time, everybody. So everybody stay cool.
SWL 223. Getting D510 checked in, and then also Mr. Shockwave up the hill 226. And who is that? Over. 195. And 195. How did I? Oh, you know what? Here's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I have, and you can't see it's off camera. I have the roll call pushed way off the desk, and my coat tail was covering up the last part. So when I pulled it up to see 223, it was covering up your number. Now, it's not as though I haven't been doing this for 40 years, and I'm saying, I wonder where Jim is tonight. So thank you for fixing my wardrobe malfunction. Over. All right, well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And Jim does a good job. He waits very patiently through the roll call, and I'll need to think, what? Am I chopped liver? No, it's 195. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Dennis.
Anybody else? And then I'm going to jump out of the air chair. We're going to fix the background here. I'm going to grab some water, and then we will be ready for some tube radios. OTR listening.
This is TRC 217 checking in from under the carport, Dennis.
TRC 217 from under the carport. We'll have to do a signal report sometime. Get up on the carport. But always a good signal. Sounding good to the old tube radio network, Central Fresno. And thanks for joining us. You're got the X in the square.
Cheers.
Also, before I go, here's who's joining us at oldtuberadio.net tonight. A list of celebrities. Squamish, BC at the top, right down here on the front. Charlie let you in. Well, yeah. We're trying to hear Peter up there. Boulder Creek in California. Lawrence, Kansas, our technical admin guys that if it wasn't for Frodex, a lot of this would not be happening right now. Anoka, Minnesota. Hello to Fresno. Lake Elsinore. We've got to you. Anoka, Minnesota. Singapore. Couple of those jumping in. The old Tube Radio Network. You're probably saying, what is this? Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Louisville, Kentucky. If that's Fan Man, we will get you checked in. Gerald, Texas. It's 32? Are you over there? I don't know where you would show up. But Texas is on there. Brighton, Illinois, up in the balcony. They have service up there. Just ask. They will bring you some popcorn. All right, I'm out of the air chair. I will be back. We will be checking in radios if I don't break something on the way back. The Old Tube Radio Network.
may not find us on TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I wanted to have them sing a little quietly, so they don't take us off the air. The Old Tube Radio Network is back. Let me click on the control room item of interest. Yeah, there we go. And look at that. There's flora and fauna out in the back. And let's see. I promised somebody here's the radios that showed up today at the auction. I think this is this is the one that I want. So there's two. There's the Zenith, and that's a 6 tube. So it's got a 6 number. Whenever it's got like a number 6, 7, 8, that's a number 2. So that's the Zenith from 1940, the 6S 439, and were I to zoom in on that doesn't quite get you up to. That doesn't quite. Let's get rid of those Nixie tubes. That doesn't quite. Where are they on? Nixies. There we go. Thank you. Sometimes it just takes. Sometimes you gotta wait. There. Oh, you can see the dial. It goes up. Oops. You can see the dial. It goes up to just past 20 meters. Or yeah, 12, 14, 16, 18. So it kind of drops out, unfortunately. But that's okay. The little shortwave band and stuff like that. And then the other radio, you can't really see the dial, but I think that actually goes up. It's got a band that goes up towards 11 meters. It's got the Magic Eye tube there. That's the Pilot radio from, when is that? 1938. So, yeah, can you think of that? Somebody actually had that radio, was probably listening to it back in the day. Where is it? No, I'm messing things up here. To the War of the Worlds. So probably listening to Orson Welles broadcast War of the Worlds on that very radio. So that's what we were doing today. So hopefully we'll get them fired up and have some fun. Speaking of fun, we're going to do that right now. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio is glowing in the dark. So we're standing by for any and all check-ins.
56.
14, 14, 14.
Got some good audio, 14. Don't go away. You will be radio number 2, and it is definitely working well. 56, just for kicks. Go ahead and jump into your air chair, and we'll see what's going on. You're nice and loud.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I'd like to check in my Hammerland HQ 105TR.
Nice. And I did not see, I'm trying to think if I saw any Hammerland equipment today. I don't even think they had one. Oh, you know what they did? They had their receiver, the 600, I think it was a 300 or 600. They actually had a Hammerland receiver, but not a transmitter. But anybody who is a Hammerland fan, this is the greatest radio. And I've got a picture of the 105TR. They took one of their shortwave radios, receivers, sort of like what I kind of bought today. And then they put a 10-meter, 11-meter little 5-watt transmitter inside. And they kept the clock. And it's a beautiful thing. And we're going to hear one right now. Back to you, Phil.
Well, thank you, Dennis. They made this radio in 3 different flavors. One with a clock, one with a small internal speaker, and one that was just plain. This one has the clock, and let's see, as an accessory, I have the push-button channel selector, and of course, this one needs an external speaker, which I have the Hammerland external speaker.
And we're showing that. That's the, it matches the radio height. It should have, I'm looking at what I've got here, it should have the little Hammerland badge logo down in the corner somewhere. And the one we're showing has a strange design, almost like someone drizzled paint or something on it.
Yeah, the grill cloth has kind of a Jackson Pollock kind of esque feature to
it. That's a good way to describe it. And you actually need a speaker for that radio. And I don't know if it's one of those like high ohmage styles that would just go for that radio and has a transformer built in or something. But you need one in there because if you don't have the speaker in the radio and you've got the clock, then you got to have it somewhere, I believe. Let me go with a little extreme close-up. You should have, and all my shots are messed up. Yeah, the S-meter. I don't know what is going on here. Oh, I know what I did. I've got the double whammy going on. Anyway, before I blow up my radio, tell me about, before we go, what you do for an antenna, because you've got a receiver that's separate from the transmitter. So I'm just wondering. Let me get back to the control room here. How do you work that? Do you have a place to actually put the coax for the transmitter, right?
Well, yes, I believe, and it could be mistaken, but I believe as an add-on, that is to say by somebody else, put an SO-type coaxial-type connector to it. I haven't seen the back of this radio for a while, but I seem to recall there were just a couple of screws for like a long wire type setup. But this one has a regular coaxial type connector, so I just use the 10-11 meter antenna as a receive antenna as well.
Which will work quite well, but like I said, that's got general coverage receiver, so it goes from AM broadcast all the way up through this band and 10 meter as well. And boy, does that have some... I'm always impressed with the quality of audio out of the Hammarlund radios, and this one is no exception. So what is the microphone you're using?
This one is an amplified D104 type microphonium.
Super clear, super crisp, and I'll get over to the zero beat and see how the crystals are working in that. How many channels? Well, I guess I could say, how many crystals do you have in there? So what other channels have you got?
Well, the unit itself, as sold, only had a socket for one transmit-receive transmit channel. The push-button accessory, like the old AM car radios, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 choices. But originally, out of the box, without the accessory, you just had one transmit crystal over.
And that wasn't untypical for, a selectable channel radio, because they said, well, you can put in what you want. Nice thing is you've got the tunable receive to hear everything as well. I checked, you're about 200 cycles high, not bad at all. And boy, when I go to sideband, that's another way I can tell if the audio is good. You go to sideband, it's crystal clean. It's nice and loud. Don't have to turn the volume up, so working quite well. Let me go back to this shot, which is really nice. From Hammarlund. Let me see if I got any other info before we turn it back to you. No, HQ 105TR, and I think that is the HQ. If you're looking up for Hammarlund, if you find the HQ 100 receiver, that's what that is with the transmitter built in, and I think they also made it. You could work it on 10 meters as well. But a super cool radio, really nothing besides the other Hammarlund, the 205, nothing like it out there at all. So a good item to have, especially if you are a true SWL. Back to you. Thanks for bringing it by, and I always get a kick out of this.
Well, thank you, Dennis. It really is a pleasure to go through the dial and pick up the AM broadcast stations. Depending on the conditions, et cetera, you can get some out-of-country stations, foreign-type stations, but it's a real pleasure. It's the AM music-type channels. It's really a good high-fidelity receiver. It's been one of my favorites. Thank you, Dennis, for letting me check it in, and back to OTR.
And likewise, one of our favorites here at the Old Tube Radio Network, really sounding good. You would you look at that and say, where's the CB radio in that? Well, they stuck one in there. Also want to say hello to 511 and Twain Hart. I waved at you. I drove up past Modesto. Where's it? Ripon, and headed out to 120 and said, I wonder if we're going to hear 511 tonight. But I see you're not in the radio room. No problem. I thought we're not having the conditions I thought we might have, but thanks for joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network into the control room, and we are heading to the east and to the south, I believe, for Sangertown. And Sean is you already spilled the beans, and since I listen to the Old Tube Radio Network weekly, I know what radio you've got. Over.
Yeah, well, I couldn't help myself, man. This thing's been in the back bedroom for some time, and yeah, as you may notice, I've got the different microphone from when I checked in. I wasn't having any luck. I had to get the soldering iron out, and yeah, the General Radio Telephone MC5 this evening, and this one is unique. It has gold-plated rack handles, which is quite different than the other ones, and I've got it on the D104 desk microphone, amplified, and hopefully I'm making a better trip now than when I checked in.
Well, signal-wise, you were good. Yeah, there was something a little funkadelic with the audio. It was real restricted, but sounds loud and clear now. It sounds like a general radio telephone, or what you would expect a general radio telephone to sound. 1962, 1963, just like we were talking about the Hammerlin, where you've got a couple of channels for transmit, but you do have the ability to also go, let me see if I got that. Yeah, there's the microphone with the general coverage receiver. It says general, and pick everybody up. Back to you for transmission.
Yeah, it's got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 transmit channels. I know it has 13 in it because I was testing it earlier with that. And I'm on crystal receive right now. I did use the variable receive earlier. It was takes a long time to warm up, and for the center it was somewhere around 8, nowhere near 11 when I first turned it on. Other than that, it seems to be working great tonight, and here it is. The Tweety Bird, which is the best part about this radio. It's got a super cool little like neon light inside there connected to it to make that happen. So I'm glad it's still working properly.
Works great. Doesn't sound like it's on its last tweet or anything like that. I'm going to go to, let me see if I can find a close-up meter. And there is, and we'll go back to Sean and have him do it again for us. It's called tone signal. I don't know if you can read that if you're watching the video or looking at the picture over at oldtuberadio.net. So the switch is in the up position. At least it is in this picture. So I don't know if that means it's on or off. So when you are initiating the Q-Bird there, what is that you have to do to that switch over?
Well, all I got to do is mash it. I can even talk like this, mash it at the same time, let it off, mash it again, and talk. And I think that's the other cool feature, that you can talk and do the tone alert at the same time.
And it's definitely 100% modulation with that tone. So it'd be a good way to check your radio if it's working okay. So the switch is defaulted to the off on. So it's a spring load. You can't press it down and leave it, right? It's going to spring back up.
Yeah, correct. It's a spring-loaded switch, so you know you're pushing it when you're doing it. That would be quite comical. It wouldn't be uncommon over here for it to jam and stick on me.
Well, I think that herein lies the issue with the MC5. They were smart enough to not make that a button that you could just press down and walk away from the radio. To either maliciously forget or, have someone accidentally trip the sound. But because it was built into the radio and it was kind of this noisemaker thing, in 1963, the FCC said, you can't do that. You can't put these noisemaker tone things inside the radio. You've got to make it a separate box. So the MC5, much like the MC4, had a stronger transmitter, but it was the last general radio telephone with the tone signal because the FCC didn't want that. So if you see the next model, the MC6, it's going to have that switch, but it'll say bullhorn. So you got a good, you got a rare item there, and working good. And the microphone, you probably told me that I didn't write it down. The microphone you're using is which one that you switched to?
It's an amplified D104, but it's special. It's got black bass with a chrome push to top, chrome grip, and then black microphone head with chrome grill and chrome screws.
All right. Nice. Typically, for those radios that we hear on general radio telephone, if you have that microphone that comes, the ceramic, I think it's Electro Voice microphone, you typically don't need anything else. But you've done a good job with that one, with the amplification turned just about right, I think, over.
Yeah, I think it's proper. And then Harvey, of course, he made me the 410 adapter to go to this, I can't remember what it is, but it's like a Cessna airplane headset control plug to plug in. TJ068 is what it is, I believe.
Yeah, it's not quite a, what is it, TRS or something, but I'll get a shot. You can see it. It looks like a 1/4-inch phono plug, but it's not. I think it's got three contacts, and I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe they had the parts hanging around, but it's doing a good job. From General Radio Telephone, these originally sold for just under $200. The prices actually went down on some of the later models, like the MC6. I think it was a little bit less, but they were one of the more, in full non-kit form, affordable CDs with the 23 channels receiver. Add your crystals and the S meter as well. From General Radio Telephone in beautiful downtown Burbank, and this model would run, even though they didn't make mobile like the vibration service series, this MC5 would run 6-volt DC, 12-volt DC, or 115-volt AC, depending on the cord you've got. So thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you.
And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for any and all check-ins. Making a few adjustments here. On the fly, as they say, even though I can't find the fly. Again, a very quiet evening. Thought we might have Skip if I open up the RF gain. See, the noise floor almost at S1. I've got a little attenuation on there, but I put the RF gain in just so you don't get that much noise when you're listening. And I'll back it off to about an S3, so we'll see what happens. And, there are some modifications. Some of them are good. Some are not so good. 23's could do. Did some modifications. He crossed his Hammerland with a General Radio Telephone MC5, and when he hit the tone controls, it plays Hammer Time. Sounds like a copyright violation waiting to happen. Does those 10-minute key downs, and for sure you can't touch this. Good time for skip on 11 meters is the morning. 1017's been having really good luck doing that. Usually and you get a little bit better hop, I think, especially out towards the east. I just know when I was doing some DX checking earlier in the week, it wasn't that great. There we go. Somebody complained that my S meter goes to 0. That's the SWR I'm looking at, so we'll put it on the power output. All of what, about 2 watts or something like that. The Old Tube Radio Network, we are listening for your radio check-ins.
56.
56 just for kicks. Go ahead, over.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I'd like to check in my Tram Titan 2 Alpha.
Hello.
All right, we got some hello radios going on. The Tram Titan 2 Alpha. Now, there is another kind of rare item of interest. I will find a shot. I'm pretty sure we have that one, and some may be familiar and some not. There it is. So take a transmission, over.
Well, thank you, Dennis. The last time I checked this in, I noticed on the archive replay that there was a lot of crackling, and I think that was due to my standing up and waving the microphone around a little bit. Is that crackling, or is the audio smooth, or over?
No crackling, no crunching. I didn't look at the meter. Carrier's not dropping out, so you are standing or standing still in the right spot. The best shot I have of the Tram Titan 2A, their first, putting the wood case on there, the Naga hide top, bring out the lemon pledge and the armor all over.
Indeed, it is quite a contrast from in appearance from the Hammerland. The Hammerland belongs in a shack, and this one looks like it belongs right on top of the stereo cabinet.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that's why they did it. You take away the rack handles, and the XYL says, "Whoa, that's okay. You can bring that in the living room." One of the last of their tube radios. Oops, what happened? I had 1971. So a lot of the manufacturers are already starting to go solid state or thinking about it. General Radio Telephone is closing shop. A lot of the other manufacturers are now importing the Panasonic chassis. $500. So we go from the $200 General Radio Telephone to the $500 Tram Titan 2A. Added a nice wood cabinet, some electrical updates, especially bigger, better modulator final tube. 15 tubes, man. 15 diodes and a Collins mechanical filter. That's what's bringing your price up. A Collins mechanical filter was not cheap, but they're nice to have, over.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody sounds pretty good on this coming through this radio. It does have a fairly large front fire speaker, which helps as well.
All right, it sounds like we're getting a little skip. I'll have to figure out where they're coming from. Maybe they're on a tram. It's in Sam's book number 40, and 15 watts PEP input because of it does have sideband. It is, and I think we've determined that it truly is a double sideband radio, meaning when you switch to lower sideband, you are receiving the lower sideband coming in. It's looking at that portion, but you're still transmitting a lower and an upper sideband. When you go to upper sideband, it is now listening for the upper sideband coming in, and still transmitting an upper sideband with a lower sideband. Over.
Well, I think that's my understanding as well. The radio is tunable receive, and of course crystal controlled. 23 channels. This was, as mentioned, the last full tube tram radio that was made, to the best of my knowledge. They had a Tram Titan 3, which is a hybrid, and then whatever preceded that, I believe, was all solid state. Could be mistaken. Over.
No, I believe you are telling true. They went to, and there weren't a lot of, I think DAC did it, on CB radios anyway, they did the hybrid, and maybe some people say one of the versions of the Browning Mark IV, where they'll solid state the receiver and keep the transmitter too. But that was not uncommon for the early 1980s ham radios. I've got a couple of the FT102s, and they're really kind of nice. Sort of like the best of both worlds. You can put the big beefy tubes in the transmitter, but have a solid state receiver that doesn't drift. Although some people like the sound like anything like the tube receiver as well. Doing a good job. You don't see many of those, don't hear many of them, but I think it was one of those. It's like an Edsel. I'm not saying that in a bad way, where you've got a kind of a price point that's a little tough, and you are right in the middle of double sideband versus true single sideband, and radios that are solid state that are going to tubes and what have you. So it's a great radio, but it didn't catch a lot of people's fancy because there was other fish in the sea. Over.
Well, indeed so. My comment regarding to the Tram series, I'm not sure about the D201s, D202s, but in regard to the Tram series, this was the last all-tube.
Yes, it was total tube radio. Since you're there and you've had it for a while, I'm looking at the top. I do not see vents in the side. I do not see vents in the top. Now, it's a large radio, so there may be a lot of airspace for convection cooling. So my guess is it's got to have some vents in the bottom or something in the back. Is that? Are you aware? Does that thing run pretty hot?
Well, it's really difficult to tell because of the top cover and the side covers are kind of a heat insulated. It keeps the heat in. It is vented in the back and the bottom. There's the sides are solid wood panel, and the top is I assume some sort of a wood covered with the genuine Corinthian naga hide.
Well, I'm just looking at the top, and nobody really knows what that is. I'm sure it wasn't leather, but I think you're close with some naga hide vinyl and good stuff like that. Thanks, Phil, for bringing it by. And I don't think these were prone to any weird problems with heat. I know some of the Tram D201s had some heating issues on component parts. The tubes don't care, but transformers and other parts may not like to heat up too much. Anyway, I've got the Extreme CU. There we go. Really a fancy radio. I'm looking at the number of knobs and controls that you've got on that. You've got the separate transmitter and receiver, so you just don't sit down and turn that thing on and go. You got to make sure you're transmitting and receiving correctly, and that you've got all your RF gains and tones and everything where you want them, and that you're on the right mode. Sounding good. It does, and whatever issue you had last time with the crackling is totally gone. And if you listen to the replay, you will confirm that.
Well, Well, thanks again, Dennis. Back to OTR.
And I'm getting some skip. Anybody else hearing the skip to determine where that's coming from?
14, I hear it from Utah.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's a big SDR in Utah. So I'll bring up the DX map, but Sean, go ahead. I'm going to get back to the control room here. We want to check in some radios. That's what we're here. That's what we get paid for. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm on my Hammerlund, and it is the CB212, which is a very basic Hammerlund radio.
Yeah, a good 360 from what we saw previous from Hammerlund. The 212. In fact, they even put the word CB in there, so you would know that it wasn't a shortwave receiver. I have a couple of pictures here. Let me grab. Let me grab this one. And I don't know if there's two different colors. I'm showing a gray one and one that's a little more of a copper or brown tone. I'm not sure which one you have over.
Mine is black. It has a chrome bottom, like a polished steel. I don't think it's chrome, but it's a polished steel overlay on it. And it does have the stock microphone. Pretty nice radio, but like I said, it's very bare bones here. All you've got is 12 volume and selector, which is 6 channels, and has an orange light. Assume that's the transmit here when I let off the key.
All right, I think I found the right one. Looks like you've got it through in an S meter. Is that microphone, unless your radio's been changed, is that hardwired in or is that a plug-in?
Yeah, it's hardwired in. This radio is all stock. Nice Hammerlund radio, and I think I may have checked it in a year or two ago. I don't ever hardly use it, but it does work well. The receive has you coming in crystal clear, and it's a very nice radio in real good condition.
Interesting you should say that, because at the radio show today, I saw one of the top-of-the-line Hammerlund receivers. Hammerlund was really known for their receivers. That's why I'm always amazed that they came out with anything in 11 meters, or took one of their really nice receivers and stuck that transmitter in it. But so I would imagine that good on receive. Let's put another 5-watt DC input device inside with 3 watts on the output, 6 crystal control channels. Very price friendly, $130 for this. So again, it's an entry-level radio. You didn't need a lot of fancy stuff. I don't have a date on it. And it will go 12-volt DC if with the proper cable. Weighs 14 pounds. Don't see a lot of them. Don't hear a lot of them. So it's hard to know if they sold a lot or what. At that price point, you would think there might be more of these floating around over.
Yeah, definitely. You don't see this radio very often. I do have that same radio still checked in, the 105 TR. I love that radio, but it's not a real hot radio. This one doesn't have a lot of swing, but it does do, 5, 6 watts of power there. So it's a pretty good CB radio, but yeah, not something I use very often, but it's working excellent tonight, and I'm looking forward to the replay because I haven't heard it in a long time.
I think you will be pleased. We're going to do one more thing, just so you can, if you're listening to the replay. However you're talking to the microphone is fine. You're probably about 75% modulated. So when you come back on the next transmission, go ahead and either get closer or increase the audio just so that you can hear what the difference sounds like. Increase your level of audio, so that way you'll be able to hear what the difference sounds like over.
Okay, well, I'm yelling into the microphone, basically. Now I'm kind of cupping my hand, and I really see the needle wiggling. I'll tell you, if you get Harvey, he's the guy that can make these radios get 100% modulation. Nobody else can. But this is about the best I can do, cupping the microphone, probably.
Not bad. I didn't hear any flat topping or any things that would sound like the tubes weren't trying to give you more audio. Yeah, it sounded like you were maybe cupping your hands and talking a little bit louder unnaturally. but it does get louder, doing just what it should do. From Hammarland, known for their receivers, another kind of rare transceiver for the Class D 11-meter Citizen radio service. And, unlike when Swan came out and did the Siltronics and advertised in QST, E.F. Johnson and Hammarland and Hallicrafters, I don't think they really made a big to-do in the ham world when they went and made, got into the Class D 11-meter. But they sold enough, and I bet they did pretty good. As their sales were declining in the ham world, they were picking up in the 11-meter side. So it's all good. It's all classic. If you can find one, get one. Thanks for bringing it by.
Yeah, thank you, and cool logo Hammarland has. I always think that too. So thanks for the time tonight for the 212.
OTR?
This is the OTR network, over.
Well, Dennis, speaking of Hammarlands, I asked this question a few years ago as a trivial question, but I'll ask it again, and Harvey, you're not allowed to answer. What is the meaning of the Hammarland logo?
We have discussed it. I'm going to see. Do I have... I'm going to see if I had a good shot of one here. Oh, by the way, for that 212, no, it's MC5. Never mind. I thought maybe we had a schematic on that, but we don't, I don't think. Yeah, Skipper's definitely coming. I'm trying to see if I can get a Hammarland logo here. And I hear you, 13 for the check-in, KB6 GFD. We've got a check-in from SWL 13 on the crossband. My Rolodex is failing me for the pictures I'm looking for. I was seeing if I could get a shot of the one they had at the radio display today, but I don't even get that.
The picture you had for the TR-105, zoom in on the speaker. There should be a logo there.
Actually, you are correct, so I will grab that. And there it is, the H with the arrow going upward.
That's it.
I think you can even buy those. I see they have one vintage 60s Radio Society of Great Britain currently has a Hammarland logo on their site. Well, here's another one, Hammerlin legend. There are a number of false etymologies regarding why amateur radio operators are colloquially called hams. You say that. Likely an example of corporate wishful thinking. One such tale is that Hammerlin products were supposedly so preeminent in the pioneering era of radio that they became a part of the language of radio. As the story goes, an early radio enthusiasts affectionately called Hammerlin products ham products and called themselves ham operators. In truth, Hammerlin was a minor and barely known company at the time ham started to be used. So we know that's not right.
Well, here's a hint. The logo is symbolic.
And they actually did build the more transmitters than I thought. Company founded by Oscar Hammerlund in New York City in 1910. Company made it all the way through to 1973. Out of Mars Hill, North Carolina.
And what were they notorious for?
Well, let's see. Their designs became industry standards, and the component's schematic symbol was adopted as the company's logo. So you've got that. I guess if you know schematics, usually when you have some type of a thing through a thing, it tells you about a variable, like a variable capacitor over.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Says, yeah, their variable capacitor designs quickly became industry standards, and the component's schematic symbol was adopted as the company's logo. So sort of started doing the thing, and then it's like, well, what are we going to use for our logo? And they just had to look down at the bench. I think that was easy. Just like what Harvey does. He looks down at the bench and says, look at this mess.
Are you discussing why amateurs are called hams?
Well, actually, I was discussing that, but the answer was this was one reason why they were not called hams.
From what I understand, it was originally a derogatory term.
Yeah, and more so than it is today.
Oh, yes. Way back, during telegraphy, back in the 1800s, something like that. The really good telegraphers called the poor ones ham-fisted because they couldn't, do it right or, do it more professionally, and they shortened it to hams. I heard that a couple years ago.
All right, that may be collaborated. At the turn of the 20th century, the term hams and plug were used by landline telegraphers, and they had some of the clickety-clack telegraphers at the museum today, where you just hear the clicks, you don't hear the tones. But anyway, the terms ham and plug were used by landline telegraphers to describe an operator who lacks ability or who had poor or ham-fisted skills. By 1881, it had been alleged by telegrapher unions and trade groups that the companies were employing ham operators who were negligent or incompetent. These unskilled operators were described as either being either drinking alcohol, well, they'd fit in perfectly for CB, drinking alcohol while working, irresponsible teenage boys, or merely having little ability. Their miscommunications was blamed for causing severe train wrecks. Well, that goes a little bit farther than just being a ham.
Yeah. The other one, there's my cough. So I'll keep it kind of short, I guess. The other one was, one of the first amateur radio stations were manned by these three guys, and their last names, if you did it right, last name initials were H-A-M. So the station was affectionately called the Ham Station.
Well, there are reasons that you get the false etymologies, and some, I think we just did a couple of those. Will we ever know? This version claims ham was an acronym supposedly derived from the initials of a very popular magazine, Home Amateur Mechanic, which covered early radio construction. However, the date of the issue is not specified. Hertz Armstrong Marconi sometimes claimed that ham came from the first letter from the last three names of the radio pioneers, Heinrich Hertz, Edwin Armstrong, and Guglielmo Marconi. However, this cannot be sourced. There's the Hammerland legend. So all of those are sort of kind of discounted. So we may never know.
Maybe the first guys or people just ate ham sandwiches.
Which is what I had for dinner tonight, because I didn't have much time after getting back from the Radio Museum. Let's get you checked in. It's a little bit after 10 o'clock. The skip is trying to roll, and so there might be some stations that want to try and get on sideband. I think Rich is going to stay up tonight. He's going to have his 2 a.m. video posted for us, talking to the guys here on the West Coast. So we'll see what happens with that. Go ahead and take a transmission. You're sounding good minus the cough. Over.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something about that. But anyway, the Browning Golden Beagle R68T68 from Browning Lavatories. Custom D104, this is the original mic that came with it. Has a slightly different type of hammer tone bass. And it has the Browning medallion on the back of the head of the unamplified D104 with the black straight cord on it. Just the way it came. Okay, I'm going to start coughing, so I better let you go. Catch you next week.
Same ham time, same hand channel. So here's something. Somebody mentioned, did you ever have a hamster? Maybe, it came like, you used to get what was the box of detergent, the box of Does detergent, you got a free, I don't know, like a free dish towel. So maybe early on, some of the radios, you got a free hamster.
Only in boxes of Breeze.
Every other box of Breeze.
Well, that's how I powered my DC radios. I had the hamster running around in the little cage thing, and it powered the radio.
Nice. And you know, and Rob brings up a good thing. 32 brings up a good thing. And we have them. We actually have one in our studios, Harvey. It's referred to as a cough button. And it is, you have a little box next to your microphonium, and you can press the button. I used to have one here. I sort of have one here. So if I wanted to cough, and then I would turn my microphone back on. So we just need to get you, it's not that you can't cough, we should just get you a cough button.
Well, I haven't used it in a long time, so I don't know if this works. But sometimes when I kind of say, well, I don't want to keep talking, I do this. Let me see if I can do it here. Come on. Oh, I have to answer the phone.
Well, we had a General Radio telephone tonight. They sort of have a cough button. You just push down on the tone call button. The only problem is the microphone is still open when that does.
Yeah, I haven't done the toilet bowl one in a long time. I've got that back on the shelf. Anyway, I've got my instant cough button. All I have to do is think about it and I'll start coughing. So maybe I shouldn't think about it. Okay, I'll let you go so I can not cough. Catch you next week.
Will do. Same cough time, same cough channel.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Well, I think that might do it for the Old Tube Radio Network this evening. I did pretty good. I got up at 3:30 this morning for the round trip to the Radio Museum, so I haven't had a chance. I don't know what that is. Something just came up here. I haven't had a chance to jump in. I don't know if I'm going to put these guys up on the Variac before I try and get them fired up or what. But we've got the Zenith and the Pilot ready to go and see what happens with those two stations coming up. Radios tonight. Anybody else before we sign off here? And for those, somebody, what Radio Museum? Here on the West Coast, it's California Historical Radio Society, CHRS. So I think if you do a search for CHRS, you'll get to their website. And they actually still have, some of the radios that they auctioned or tried to auction off that didn't sell, they're going to be up on their website. But again, these were vintage receivers. And I guess I have to have a fanfare to do this correctly.
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. It's time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final OTR totals. Let me see if I can get this done without blowing something up here. Radios tonight, we had 4, 5, 6, 7. A couple extras coming in. We heard from, of course, Phil on the Hammerlin HQ105TR with the Telecron clock ticking away, perhaps, or looking like it was ticking away. Sean got a couple of radios tonight. General Radio Telephone MC5 with the Q-Bird as... who introduced me to that? It was 23. It's only, we always used to call it, I don't know, what do we call it? Tone Alert, but the Tweety Bird, but it's the Q-Bird. Sounded good on that one. Got the other microphone on. I think that was a good choice. The Tram Titan 2A with no microphone issues as well. So, like I said, I might have just been pulling on the cord or doing something, but it was 100% no problem on that, Phil. Sean had the Hammerlin CB212. That's 2 Hammerlins tonight. That may be our number one manufacturer would be be a good thing. The Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68, the Browning Beagle. Also, we heard Mike checked in on 47 checked in on the Robin T123 because he was relinquishing the radio room tonight, so that was nice of him. But we still got a radio in, and then as we heard from Old Radio Night once again, I think JT is really enjoying the fact that he's like the top dog now on that buddy bass. But the RC11B TX11B transmission, and it was good to hear from all the stations checking in there. So, anybody doesn't have anything else for the net, I'm going to jump out of here and maybe catch up on a little bit of sleep. I had a great day today, and we're looking for a big one tomorrow. The bands, it's really hard to look at the propagation numbers and figure out what might actually be happening in your area on a certain band. So take a look at them with a grain of salt, and then give it a try. Give it a try on whatever band you want, with whatever power you want, with whatever antenna you want, and then log down the fact that it's like, wow, it said the band was closed, but I just talked to somebody 1,000 miles away. Yeah. So take that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and we should try this again next week. Don't you think, or don't you?
Good night. Good night.
Good show, Dennis.
That's right. Harvey, you know what you're going to do to thwart your doctor? You're just going to stop taking every pill that you've got and see if your cough goes away.
Well, according to my doctors, if I stop taking all the pills, I'll go away.
Yeah, they say that now, but I mean, we are definitely not giving medical advice here on the Old Tube Radio Network. But sometimes you stop taking everything, and it's like, okay, whatever that thing was went away, and then you start taking them back, and you find out who is the culprit.
Hey, Roger. Okay. I'll be seeing the doctor, I think, next week or the week after, and we will try and figure it out, because I would like it to stop happening, definitely. But then I'll be talking on the radio more, so maybe it might be a good thing to have just a little bit.
It's never a problem, and that's how you work on a radio anyway, right? You just start pulling. There's a problem. You pull things out, there's a problem. You pull things out, the problem is still, and all of a sudden you pull something and the problem goes away. It's like, aha. There's what's causing the problem.
Well, I don't know. It happens on the radio, it happens on the phone. When I'm just sitting across from people talking, it just starts happening. So, I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out. Okay, take care, and 00 signing off.
Okay, sir, we have, let me check the list. We're in week 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 3 more to go.
Now the phone's ringing for real. I'll catch you later.
Okay, talk to you next time on the Old Tube Radio Network. And maybe I should sign on that way. We'll go to, let's see if this will work. There we go. It'll be, welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network in color. Catch you next time. I don't know how they get so far behind on that. And then the net just faded away.